Hello, welcome to this video guitar lesson. I'm really excited today that I'm going to be showing you how to play Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, and I know you're probably excited as well because it's a really cool song. The main riff that I'm going to show you is going to sound like this. Okay, it's brilliant, isn't it? But as well as that, I'm going to show you some chords that go with the verse and the chorus, and there's some power chords as well, and I'm going to show you the lead part that goes with the chorus, and there's a little solo I'm going to show you as well, so we've got a lot to get through. So, enough talking. Oh, quickly, there's a couple of things I need to tell you very quickly. Slash tunes his guitar down to drop E, and if you don't know what that means, what it means is each one of the strings he tunes down a semitone, the equivalent of tuning down a fret. So the sixth string, instead of being an E, he tunes it down to an E flat, and the fifth string goes down to an A flat, and so on. Why he does that, I don't know. It makes no sense to me, but that's what he does. Obviously, he didn't have any V guitar lessons when he was learning guitar, so he got off to a bit of a bad start. But anyway, I don't want you to worry about that. You can just follow what I'm showing you, and it'll make perfect sense. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that in order to get this sound, we're going to use distortion on the amp. So you might want to look at your amp and press the distortion button or turn the gain up, or some of you will have effects pedals and overdrive pedals and things like that. So, you know, that's what we're going to use to get this rock sound. So enough talking, let's begin. Start with your first finger on the fourth string at fret 12. Now, by the way, this fret here is fret 12 on my guitar. Most guitars have got 2 dots, okay? So that's fret 12. So play that note, and then use your little finger to play the second string at fret 15. Then use your third finger to play the third string at fret 14. And then play the third string at fret 12. So you can look at the tab at the bottom of the screen. That'll sound like this. Then play the little finger on the first string at fret 15. And then the third string at fret 14, and then the little finger goes in there on the first string at fret 14, and then finish on the third string at fret 14. Now, some of you are totally confused already and you're thinking, slow down, slow down. What you need to do is pause the video, look at the tab at the bottom of the screen. Let me demonstrate that in slow motion. And Slash plays it twice. Excellent. Okay, so that's the first bit. Now, he does it again, except there's one difference. Instead of starting on the fourth string at fret 12, what happens now, he's going to start on the fourth string at fret 14. That's the only difference. So we're going to play that riff twice again, but just starting on that note, like this. Again. Excellent. Now he changes again, so this time he's going to start on the third string at fret 12, but the rest of the notes are same again, like this. And then he finishes by going back to the original one that we started on, which is the fourth string at fret 12. Twice. Okay, so we've covered quite a lot of notes already, and you'll notice that each one of those patterns I was doing twice, okay, just to make that clear. So the whole thing, if I join it together in slow motion, will sound like this. go. That's the main riff, all right? So you can pause that and practice it. And I just want to make the point that I didn't learn how to play that straight away the first time that I ever played it. I practiced it lots and lots and lots and lots, okay? So I want you to be patient with yourself and take the time to practice. You're going to have to do that. Right, so let me show you the power chords that go alongside with that solo. I suggest if you use your first finger on the 5th string at fret 5, and at the same time hold down the 4th string at fret 7. And if you want to, you can put your little finger on the 3rd string as well at fret 7. So look at the chord box next to me if you just want to see those finger positions. Just give it a strum. And then move down 2 frets. So now we're on the 5th string at fret 3, and then these 2 fingers are on the 4th and 3rd string at fret 5. And then take all those fingers up a string, and what I mean by that is we're now on the 6th string at fret 3, and this finger's now on the 5th string at fret 5, and this finger's now on the 4th string at fret 5. And now go back to the first chord that we started on, the D chord, the 5th string at fret 5, and these 2 at fret 7. So if we join all that together, they'll sound like this. Okay, and those chords support the lead part whilst it's playing. I hope that makes sense. And when the drums come in and the verse starts going, you can actually add a bit of rhythm to it and play it more like this. And even while Axel's singing over the top, you can do that and it'll sound great, okay? So as well as the power chords, there's also some other chords that you can play with the verse while Axel's singing. This is actually quite a flexible song. There's a lot of different guitar parts and you can kind of chop and change between them, you know, whatever you enjoy playing most. Let me demonstrate this without distortion, just using a clean sound now. Okay, so that's while Axel's singing the verse, and it sounds really nice and gentle, doesn't it? So we're going to start using the D chord, and you probably already know it, but just in case you didn't learn it from the free lessons, it's the 3rd string at fret 2, the middle finger on the 1st string at fret 2, and the 2nd string at fret 3. And if you remember, with the D chord, we just strum 4 strings. We don't use the 6th and the 5th string, like this. Okay. So once you've done the D, we're going to use a C chord, and that's the 5th string at fret 3 with the 3rd finger, okay? Middle finger on the 4th string at fret 2, and the 1st finger on the 2nd string at fret 1. And you can look at the chord box if you just want to check that. Now with the C chord, we use all 5 strings, but not the 6th string, okay? So like this. There you go. Now we're going to use a G chord. There's a few different ways of doing G, and the way I want you to do it in this song is like this. That's the 6th string at fret 3, using the 3rd finger. Make sure you're using your 3rd finger, the ring finger. Put your middle finger on the 5th string at fret 2, and the little finger on the 1st string at fret 3. And the 1st finger shouldn't be doing anything. So pause the video and just make sure you got that. And once you've done that, you can go back to the D. Okay, so the 4 chords will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So I'd like to show you a way of making that a little bit more interesting using a bit of a picking pattern. So what I suggest you do is strum the chord and then pluck strings 1, 2 and 3. And you can improvise with this a little bit. You can really pluck any of those strings and it'll sound fine. So to give you an example, So you'll see that I was just strumming each chord and then plucking strings 1, 2 and 3 a couple of times. And you can hear that it made it sound a lot nicer and a lot fuller, didn't it? Don't make a big deal out of it, just kind of experiment and see what sounds nice. There you go, right. So the next thing I want to show you is the lead part that goes over the chorus. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so it's a kind of similar pattern as before, but this time it's going to start on the 4th string at fret 11, then play the 2nd string at fret 14, 3rd string at 14, 4th string at 14, so that'll join together like this, then the little finger on the 2nd string at 15, then the 3rd string at 14, and then the little finger on the 2nd string at 14, and then the 3rd string at 14. A lot of notes, I know, but as usual, just pause the video and practice it. And then we go like this. 4th string at fret 10, 2nd string at 13, 3rd string at 12, and then the 3rd string at 10. You'll notice that's kind of a similar pattern as what we've been doing already. It's just moved down to fret 10. So, and then what you're going to do this time is the little finger on the 1st string at 12, and then the 3rd string at 12, and then the 1st string at 10, and then the 3rd string at 12. So that one will sound like this. And then what happens is we go back to the very original riff that we learned in the first place. Okay, so let me demonstrate that in really slow motion. Okay, so that's the lead part that goes over the chorus. That's the bit where Axl's singing, "Whoa, sweet child of mine." And if you listen to the CD, you'll hear where Slash is playing that. All right, now let me show you the power chords that go with that chorus. They're going to sound like this. So begin with an A power chord, and what that is the 5th string open, so obviously that requires no fingers, but we're using our 1st finger to lay flat across strings 4 and 3, both at fret 2. So I'm holding really all those strings there flat across fret 2. So when you actually pluck, you're going to be plucking the 5th and 4th and the 3rd string as well, like this. Okay, and then we're going to go to a B power chord. And what that is the 5th string at fret 2, the 3rd finger on the 4th string at fret 4, and you can do it like that. Sometimes I like to actually use my little finger on that 4th string instead and give that a pluck. Just plucking the 5th and 4th string, obviously. And then we're going to move up a fret. So now we're on fret 3 and fret 5, like this. So let me join those together, starting with the A. Okay, and then we move up to a D, which is just the 5th string at fret 5 and the 4th string at fret 7. Okay, so we've just moved up a couple of frets. So let me join that together in really slow motion. And as you practice that, you'll be able to play it at full speed, more like this. And again, you know, he repeats that a few times in the chorus. There we go. Now, by the way, obviously this is a complicated song. There's a lot of parts. We've already covered a lot of sections. I don't want you to get confused or feel overwhelmed. All you need to do is practice what I showed you, and then you can look at the PDF document. And in that PDF document, you can print it out, and it's got all the parts all in order, so you can see exactly what to play and exactly when to play it. So there's nothing to worry about, okay? Remember, the aim of the game is to have fun and, you know, practice a cool song that you can play to your friends and stuff. So the last thing I want to show you is the solos that Slash plays at a couple of points throughout the song. And the first one sounds like this. Okay, it's fairly straightforward. Let's have a go at that. So the third string at fret 14, off to fret 12, and then down to fret 11, and then play it again. So you've done that twice now, and now we're going to play similar. It starts on the third string at 14 again, and then go off to fret 12 again. But this time we're going to go to the fourth string at fret 14, and you're going to do that twice. And then what you're going to do is just play the third string, 14 and 12, and we're going to bend the third string at fret 14 up and down. And to do a bend, what you do is you use your third finger, but you also put these fingers on the string, on the same string, the third string, and you're going to use all those fingers to help push. And then you're going to play fret 12, and then bend again in the same place at fret 14. Little finger goes onto the second string at 15, that's quite tricky. And then we're going to do a bend on the second string at 15. Okay, so let's go from the first bend so I can show you what I mean. And then we're going to finish by pulling the fourth string at fret 14, and that's just a backwards bend. You're going to hold down that string and pull it downwards. Like that. It takes a lot of strength from your fingers, okay? So you'll need to work on that. Let me show you that whole solo in one go. There you go. And then what happens, there's a whole nother verse and a chorus goes round, you know, and then eventually Slash does this solo again, but there's a slight difference. He starts the same. So he gets to that point where he's played 14 and 12, but then he does 14 and 12 again. And this time he's going to bend, but in a different place. He's going to bend the third string at fret 11, and then use your middle finger on the fourth string at fret 12, and then bend the half bend again on the third string, and then the little finger is going to go right the way up to the second string at fret 15 whilst you're holding the bend, and give the second string a pluck, and then just play that bend on the end again. I know. Let me just demonstrate it to you and hopefully it'll make sense. There you go. But Slash doesn't stop there. He plays the solo again this time, but it's slightly different again. It's going to sound like this. All right, so stick with me. Let's just get through it and then you can practice it at your own pace. It starts the same. And this time he's going to bend the third string at fret 14, put the little finger on the second string at 15, play it twice, and then step off to the second string at 13. And now he's going to bend the second string at 15, and then play it again, and then Just follow the tab at the bottom of the screen, you should be fine. Step off to the second string at 13, and then play the second string at 12 and bend up and down. And then the third at 12, and the fourth at 12. I'll keep going and get to the end, and then I'll play it through in slow motion. And he finishes by doing this. That's the third string at 14, bend up and down, and then go off to fret 12. And then bend at 14 again, little finger on the second string at 15, and then you're going to bend the second string at 15 up and down, and then bend the second string at 17, and then put your little finger on the first string at fret 17. Wow, that is a lot of stuff. Let me just quickly demonstrate that last bit of solo that I showed you. There we go. Okay, that's it. I've showed you all the parts. You just need to practice each one of them and look at the PDF document and join them all together, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with this song. Again, just to remind you about the tuning, you can either tune down to drop E, or you can just move everything down a fret. Everything I've showed you, if you move it down one fret, so instead of playing fret 12, play fret 11, and then it'll sound correct if you want to play it along to the CD, along with Guns N' Roses. There we go. That's your lot. I hope you have fun with it. I'm aware that it's quite complicated, but clearly you just need to practice and take your time and be patient. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon in perhaps an easier video guitar lesson. Bye-bye.